Outwit all those little tyrants. I am Melton, son of a carpenter. My daddy carpenter worked on skyscrapers. Mom, Mary Ann. I am the son of a carpenter. I get to tell parables, and this was a nice minute parable nightly last night. I guess I stretch out a little bit here in the morning with my sugar check parable. So here it goes. Hans and Fritz are two German soldiers back in the early 40s, the 1940s. And Hans says to Fritz, Adolf Hitler is on his way. And sure enough, Hitler walks through. Then afterwards, Fritz says, Hitler is Chinese? And Hans says, oh yeah, I thought you knew. All of the Hitlers are Chinese, except of course the ones who do the public speaking. Oh, if you don't know, our fun street fiction, Unseen Business. Yeah, the more famous and more infamous you are, the more they have of you. Meaning, Hussein there's got quite a few being him. And Hans goes on to tell Fritz that the Chinese are a good match for Hitler because of his size and his character. I don't think you can read it. It's readable. My old square cards from the Word docs, I'd use the graphic art photos now. Oh, try to call me, guys. 424-229-4140. Try to call me and see the Great Wall of Chinese Evil stealing your call to me. Then outwit all those little tyrants and come see me in person. Tell me what that place needs. Jesus' immaculate house here on earth. Call an opportunity house if you want. Opportunity for a whole lot of good folks from all kinds to build a better world. You can call an opportunity house, but yeah, there will be that test at the end. So make sure you pass the test. And yes, Jesus' immaculate house is built on truth. This is my image, Americans for unhijacked lifelines and fairly elected officials. It seems kind of odd when they place someone named Hussein in the highest office in the world right after we got attacked by a whole lot of angry, violent, deadly. And I'm saying that wrong because it makes them sound different, aren't they? The one they place in the White House is just a cowardly Hussein. Doesn't even own up to his own faith. They don't name him Hussein unless they're Muslims, guys. And the others are cowardly, angry, and violent. I have seen the error of my ways, and I will try to call them both. We got attacked by a whole bunch of cowardly Husseins. That's exactly what they were. Then we got attacked by politically correct placing that cowardly Hussein. Try to call me right now, 424-229-4140. That's how they place. You can't reach me to tell me what you believe. Doesn't have to be anything you hear in church. You don't even have to go to church. You can't reach me to tell me what you believe. Or ask me what I mean by Jesus' immaculate house. That's religious censorship, guys. So was 9/11. And yeah, if kind of PC censorship that is stopping your phone from working because you're a Christian, you're not the big name in your business, you go to the wrong business, you're not the big name in your business. If that kind of censorship is affecting your lifeline when you need the firemen, police, paramedics, yeah, it can be violent censorship as well, can it? Just like 9/11. So it doesn't really matter who is hijacking a lifeline. It needs to stop. We the people must put a spotlight on it. Put a spotlight on all kinds of truth. You make that 5-minute video. You want to tell me you think that's stupid? Hitler, Chinese. You want to call me up and tell me that? That's fine. This is America. You have a right to your opinion. You try to call me. You got that timestamp on your phone. Another phone is making a video of your lifeline being hijacked. 424-229-4140. You got the timestamp on your phone. You got the number dialed. I haven't gotten one 9/11 Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. That's a lot of mass censorship conducted without fear of being covered by the evening news. We the people must be the evening news. No certified mail about the 93 checks in all that time, either. If you're going to use FedEx, UPS, any private carrier, or the post office, certify that letter, get the receipt, make a video at first before you send it. It's going to be stolen by those folks placing in our White House kings instead of fairly elected officials. So make that video, post that video, and explain any video. Yeah, they're calling up countless folks to tell them whatever you do, don't vote for that cowardly Hussein. Yeah, cowardly Hussein is the same as the ones who just attacked us with 9/11. And you're trying to call them up and you see the cowardly Husseins. Stopping your phone from working. Yeah, you're calling for business purposes of any kind. And you get that boring phone ringing, error message, busy signal. It's not ringing in the hands. I make a video of this call log every 2 years. Well, not every 2 years. Every once in a while. The last one I made was for 2 years. And it was about a month and a half ago. And not one 93 check call in that decade of asking. When you're calling up countless other customers, guys, that's money out of your pocket. You don't know if the phone's just ringing or it's because Gates is meant to get the business. Or Spectrum next door. And yes, in politics, it's a democracy being stolen. Oh, I don't approve of the buffoon Trump they got in there now. The Russian guy. It's where the ruble, is that the right one? I gotta look that up. I don't know if it's ruble or, it's not peso. I don't think it's peso. I deal in good old American dollars. It's where that thing stops now. So that's why I do Trump's phone gate every month. Did Hussein's phone gate? Well, he was in office. And yes, that's placed in office. Because you're calling up all those voters to tell them don't vote for Hussein, do vote for this proposition or this cause. And you're getting censorship. It doesn't matter if it's that violent 9/11 censorship or that politically correct censorship either. They're both the same to that woman in the house with their kids, and the house is burning. It doesn't matter if Barack Hussein Obama's supporters are hijacking lifelines or some terrorists from outside the country. Make that video, post that video. And yeah, if you're wondering why there's so many Chinese ones lately, it's because I am seeing an incredibly large amount of what I call Chinese hatred. You can call it whatever you want if you think I'm wrong about what I overhear a lot of folks talking about. What I've heard a whole lot of folks talking about over the years. If you think I'm wrong about it, yeah, try to call me, tell me. I see different. You can call it the Eskimo Wallaby if you want. But let me get a little add-on in there as I do my sugar check and then show you those eyes. That's what the red flashlight's for. Medical research being passed by, growing a new pair of eyes. Slowly but surely. Yes, as the son of a carpenter and Mary. Dad, that carpenter worked on skyscrapers, and Mom, Mary Ann. I'm a son of a carpenter and Mary. I get to tell parables, also get to do a little genetic carpentry. As that, I can do that, you know. Don't try this at home. But I'll show you the eyes. Blue-eyed DNA fighting it out with brown-eyed DNA. Oh, the blue-eyed DNA is going to win. But let me tell you about Wang. He's at a party last night. Party, get together, streets, unseen business, or fix. You can just call it your living room. And Wang he looks kind of dejected. He turns, walks away from the crowd a little bit, and Adam walks over and says, "Oh man, it's just street stuff. Don't worry about it." And Wang says, "I thought he was just a senile old man." Going on and on about that. Adam says, "What? You thought he was a senile old man about what? 131. And Wang says, "My grandfather. He told me he was one of the Hitlers." And yeah, it's our street stuff. Yeah, make a video of whatever you consider the streets the unseen business. You don't have to worry about making it to the evening news, unless of course it's supposed to be there. In which case, yeah, you better be making those videos. That fictional streets unseen business, real mean. Oh, and here's another one. Alu. I don't know the female Chinese names. So, Alu has watched that particular parable bite, minute parable. Had another get together of the streets, the unseen business. You can call it your kitchen. You can call it that bar. And her friend Alice says, "What's wrong?" And Alu says, "I thought it was just a senile old lady going on and on." What do you think was a senile old lady going on and on? And Alu says, my grandmother. She said she was one of those Avas, Hitler and Ava. And she said Adolf was always arrogant and angry, as her grandma was telling her about the war. And Lou says, "You know what that means, don't you?" Adolf was always angry and arrogant. Means he was Chinese too. I'm Milton, son of a carpenter, Mary Ann. Yeah, I worked on some. I might want to put it in because I don't know where I'll get it. It's already up to 15 minutes, so I'll do that as I'm. The sergeant over in Pakistan somewhere, and all the big wigs have left, and they're securing a situation. They're watching this video, what transpired there, and the sergeant says to the private, "This doesn't look right at all. Looks like a cartoon or something." Looks like a Fat Albert or Scooby-Doo on a Saturday morning. He said, I know. And he's looking at the body back there. They're about to haul away. He says, I know how to solve this problem. How we can know for sure. I mean, fingerprints, they can fake fingerprints. They can. If you know my street fiction, they can grow folk. Check things out as you're riding through Utah. The sergeant says, go get Osama's dog in here. The dog will know. Dogs know more than people. It's a test, well-known test of the streets that you can make them look. You can give them the funny ears, the funny nose, the funny style of talking. Fool their wives. But that dog, maybe the one went hunting with him. And I know Osama went hunting because he had that rifle there. Remember, he had the rifle footage and the yoga footage. And that's all the news media played about that bloodthirsty killer. So the private goes, we can't do that. They killed the dog. They killed the dog? They killed Osama's dog? And yeah, it's... I just less than a couple of weeks ago, was it? I googled even a doll, and not only did they take cyanide, but he shot himself, I believe, and also the story in the Google was to check the cyanide. They gave it to the dog and her pups. And of course, anybody on the streets knows that, you check you send that guy who's supposed to be somebody in there, and if the dog wags his tail, yeah, it's a match. He's close enough. And so the Chinese aren't going to waste. The Great Wall of Chinese evil. And if you wonder why I'm talking about them so much, yes, seeing a lot of Chinese evil left and right here. I also call it lorry evil as well. I have to show you the rest. There's too many. I'll get to the Tuesdays tomorrow. 2 to a 4x6 print. Let me go show you my eyes as they're not gonna waste that evil that is Hitler or Osama. They got had gene pools of folks being them before they died. They've got them stashed all over the world, or descendants stashed all over the world now. You can see the smaller brownish circle slowly disappearing, and the outer ring of the brown circle is kind of gone, and the brown can be more brown, it can be more white in the center, where you saw in that 5 year ago. Oh, I didn't show you. Where you will see in that 5 year ago photo. Oh, completely dark brown in 1996, when they started changing. And then, this closes from about 9 years ago, and it's hard to see with the glare of it, but a little bit of lighter color in there. It's a graphic card image, mountain page. And here's from 5 years ago with the smaller brownish circle slowly disappearing, and this part out here is kind of missing, and this part here that you just saw is kind of whited over. Medical research being passed by doctors can't talk about that. Make that video, whatever you get when you don't get me, that's fact. They are worried enough about that to alter phone records covered up. some of my tabletop art and DVDs that store my tabletop art. Make that video, you got the timestamp on your phone, you got the number dialed, they're word enough about the altar phone records covered up, so it might just be a news story, you never know. And as far as everything else, what you might call the streets, the unseen business, or don't worry about it. It's not going to make it to even news unless it's supposed to be there. Consider it your street resume. Get it out there. Make the video, and if it's supposed to be on the evening news or what have you, you damn sure better be making that video, because the top of the street is me. Now, they're real mean. They kill dogs. Make that video, and farmed out. I envision with Osama, they got all kinds of yoga instructors, because he liked to, do the yoga, or maybe a rifle range somewhere, because he likes to fire the rifle. All over the world, the most evil folks known to mankind, conducting Sunday school, or who knows. You come see me, have we'll travel, tear down the Great Wall of Evil for real, guys. I have a little fun with our street fixing, and depending on how much of it you've seen in your life, you take it seriously or you don't. You take your phone serious. 424-229-4140. Make a video, you get the timestamp on your phone, you got the number down. Make that video, be the reporter. Call me up from Network News Anchor, local news anchor, hanging on the public eye. And come see me, tear down the Great Wall of Evil. It has just me and these blinds and that flower in my imagery, and let's get started on those 1,000 points of light to inspire the future and the present to greatness with.